Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Dawn and today I'm going to be restocking our kitchen with a few things that we like to keep around to make making meals a lot easier. I'm going to be making a pesto, a tomato sauce, and a garlic confit in this video, and I'll do my best to take you along the journey with me. Anything else that I decide to make that makes it in this video is just going to be the cherry on top, but those are the three things that I'm looking to get done today. And if you are into mothercraft and handmade items like knitting and sewing clothing, and you are into entrepreneurship, I have my own business, and just being out in nature, then consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like this video, give it a like. Anything that is a helpful resource will be left in the description, of course. So I'm going to get a wiggle on, and yeah, I'm gonna get started. Such a nice morning that I'm deciding to make these sauces. I really like to work in natural light. You can see that it will change throughout the video, but I really do prefer it. It's so nice. So here you can see I'm preparing the carrot for the sauce. I like to add carrot for sweetness and for the nutritional value that it has. And of course, if I need to cut the acidity of the tomatoes later, I can add some maple syrup to that sauce just to cut through the tomato being too acidic. So I'm just going to grate these carrots by hand, but feel free to process them in the food processor or just cut them really finely with a knife. Whatever you like. If you'd like this recipe, I can do my best to write it out for you guys at a later time. And I'm just going to prepare the garlic now. And I don't know about you, but fresh garlic is amazing, but I hate peeling it. So I just like to smash it with my knife, and then it just makes the garlic skin a lot easier to take off. And I always keep my ugly bag handy, you'll see in a minute here. And I like to put my garlic skins in there, or peels, and I like to add the peels of all of the vegetables that I'm using, any offcuts of vegetables that I'm using in here. And then once it gets full, I like to make a delicious veggie broth. So I'm just going to slice and then dice finely the garlic, and you'll see here in a minute I like to add a little bit of salt to it, which provides some friction and it kind of makes it more like a paste, which is very nice. And I'm gonna try to not make a mess with this. This onion, I can never get through a whole onion, so when I do need to use a whole onion sometimes I like to make sofritos and some nice like seasoning bases for things like jollof rice, or I like to make these faux like oxtails out of jackfruit. And so I'll go ahead and I'll just process a whole onion in a food processor or a blender, depending on what you need the base to be like. So I don't know about you, but onions make me cry like crazy. Maybe my eyes are just really sensitive, but I'm trying not to make a mess. That's why it's taken me so long with this onion. Okay, so now that I have all of my ingredients prepared, I'm gonna heat up some olive oil in a pan and get that nice and hot, and then I'm going to add in the onion and garlic and saute that till it sweats a little bit, and then I'm going to add in the carrot. And the carrot, you want to work until it gets nice and soft and it starts to caramelize a bit in the pan. So that's what you want to do with your carrot, because that's how it gets really nice and sweet for the sauce. So I'm just going to saute the onion and garlic, like I said, until it softens a bit, starts to sweat. Please excuse the bottom of my pan. I don't know what we did to this one. These are non-stick, non-toxic pans that are relatively affordable, and I will include the link in bio if I can find it. I'm just going to add in the carrots now. And later on, you'll see I have to add a little bit more oil because, carrots tend to suck up oil, much like eggplant, but not as bad as eggplant, of course. Just sauteing these guys together. So I'm just adding some Himalayan pink salt here. I really love this particular salt. I also like the Celtic salt. That one is very nice and it's really good for you. Has some minerals that are needed for your body. And some more olive oil, like I mentioned before. This will definitely help get your carrots caramelized. So I'm adding that. I'm going to saute this until it reduces in size. Honestly, that's what I look for. Everything's kind of shrunken in volume. So I'm going to do that. And once that's done, I'm going to add, sorry if my chair is squeaky, I'm going to add some tomato paste. I'm just adding that in, and tomato paste really adds some umami to your dishes, and I just love adding it to so many different things. Another great thing that you can do with tomato paste is I like to add it to kind of, the yeast mixture for when I'm making bread and make like tomato flavored bread. So good. I like to make focaccia that way. So delicious. You guys should try it. I highly recommend it. One of my favorite things. And that garlic confit that I'll be making, if you add that as your oil, oh my gosh, it would be like tomato garlic bread. Amazing. So you can see I'm just adding some of the liquid from the canned tomatoes, and then I'm going to use my fork that I have here and put some of the tomatoes, and then I'm going to give them a squeeze, you guys. I find that's the best way to go about it, but if you want to use your utensil to smash them down, you can go ahead and do that. If you have a non-stick pan, then use something wooden or silicone, because otherwise it will scratch your pan. I'm just adding more tomatoes. And I'm just going to add the tomatoes. I'm going to squeeze them, and I'm going to saute or bring everything to a simmer. I'm going to bring everything to a simmer, and then I'm going to give it a taste and see how it tastes. So now that the sauce is simmering, I'm going to add some additional seasonings. So I have some oregano and some nutritional yeast. I love when people say oregano. I do not know why. It's like my favorite. I like a lot of things that British people say as far as like their slang, but I also like the areas of the words where they choose to have accents on them, like aluminium. That's one of my favorites. That's aluminum, if you guys can figure it out, because honestly, I had a hard time with that one. Advertisement is also another one of my favorites. But I just mixed in those two seasonings, and I'm going to give it a taste and see if it needs anything else. And I believe it does, so I added in some maple syrup to sweeten it up a little bit and cut that acidity from the tomatoes. All done, I believe, after this final taste. Yes, it is. I'm very agreeable with it. I said it was perfect. And so here's a little look at how the pans work. Being able to remove the handle makes it a lot easier to store. I'm adding in my garlic here. My husband is loud in the background. I don't know if you can hear him.
Yeah.
He always asks me if I'm filming. I'm adding in some whole peppercorns and a bay leaf and some salt. I think I usually do. But I'm being really picky about my bay leaves today for some reason. I'm like, oh no, that one's not perfect enough. Oh no. And we grow these bay leaves at home. I'm very proud of it. So I added all of those ingredients, and I'm going to cover the garlic with oil. There's the salt I was talking about. I'm using the coarse sea salt here. You can use kosher, whatever you want to do. Or I would use the gray Celtic salt here as well. It's so good. I don't know if you guys, it's expensive, but I like to splurge. I like to get different salts. I don't know why, it's fun. But anyway, I'm adding half of, I think it was avocado oil. I like the Chosen brand. And I'm going to use half sunflower oil in this. And I like to use the smaller of the two saucepans because it covers the garlic a lot better. I really think my camera probably died because I didn't film the garlic confit cooking, but you just want to get it to be nice and golden brown, and then it's done. And you put the oil and the garlic in a jar or container and store it. I like to store mine on the countertop. Like I said, I use it pretty much every day, and it gets used up within like a few weeks, if not a month. Yeah. Here I'm smashing garlic like a madman. I don't know why I'm smashing it so hard, but I'm just going to be getting it ready to put in the food processor to make the pesto. This is the final thing, is the pesto. And we're happy to be here. As you can see, I've had a wardrobe change because this is the following day. I did not get all of those sauces done in one day. So yeah, change my clothes. That's why, because it's a whole nother day. I'm grabbing the basil and I'm going to remove the stems because they are really like kind of woody. But I got this new cookbook, and in there is a suggestion to use the stems of your herbs to make a flavored salt. So I'm going to try that. I did not try it with these because I forgot about it. So I'm mad. I probably just put them in the ugly bag. So, I mean, my My next batch of broth will be very tasty, but I meant to try the salt as well. I think it's done with like a sea salt so that it's not coarse sea salt, but you know, sea salt tends to have larger, I don't know, is it grains? It's not grains, is it? I don't know, but the crystals, larger crystals of salt. So I think it's a lot nicer. You also, with basil, could make a flavored sugar. And I'm a bacon girly, so that sounds amazing. So in my food processor, I added the garlic. I added some walnuts. You can use whatever nut you want. I like walnuts and pine nuts, and I think I've done it with pecans too, but walnuts is a really good substitute if you don't want to splurge on pine nuts. Some people have used cashews. They tend to be a little on the sweet side for me, so I don't use them typically. And so I put all of that in there with the basil, and I'm adding some nutritional yeast for a nutty cheesy flavor and some olive oil. And I'm literally going to keep on adding olive oil in there until I get the right consistency. I think also I'm adding some water. And this here is a bowl of spinach. This is baby spinach. Adding that in handfuls at a time, and then I'm going to blend and add some more spinach, and you know, keep on tasting it and keep on seeing if the consistency is there, and tweaking this as I go. I do not have a recipe for pesto. I just know the ingredients. So for me, I always use fresh basil. I use nutritional yeast. I typically always use walnuts and spinach. I use lemon juice. It could be fresh or it can be, you know, bottled. I'm using bottled here. The Trader Joe's, I think it's Sicilian lemon. Oh my gosh, so good. So I'm using that, and spinach. But you also can use kale if you'd like to, or any other dark leafy green that you think will be delicious. I'm adding some salt to season it, and it's pretty simple. Like, I'm just gonna keep at it until I think it tastes good, and I'm gonna put it in a jar to store it, and that's it. It's pretty simple, honestly. And I make this pretty much every single time we go grocery shopping. I make it about once a month, and we get a few uses out of it because it makes a ton. So that night for dinner, I made a pesto pasta because all of it didn't fit in the jar. So I was like, okay, I'll just go ahead and use some of it tonight. So yeah, it's friggin' perfect. I love having pesto on hand. It's amazing. And if you want to keep at it and make a ton, then you can freeze some, which is a fabulous idea. I really do love recipes like this, the kind where they're not really a recipe, they're all based on your intuition, and you really just get to make the recipe your own and add what you'd like to it. I do prefer to add spinach. It adds nutritional value, but also it is a lot more affordable to purchase spinach than it is basil. So I do prefer to use it. Just going to be putting it in the jar now. Just so you guys know, this jar is about 16 ounces, and there was about the same amount left in the food processor when I was finished. So what I made the pasta with was about 2 cups. So it makes about 4 cups total. Just going to place the lid on there, and I'm going to store this in the refrigerator along with the tomato sauce. That's it for my sauces. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really lovely actually to set up the camera and film my whole entire process, and hopefully with time these videos will much improve. And yeah, thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one.